Hey everybody, I'm Lance Janes and I help people wake up to their best life. Today I want to share 7 tips that have been helpful to me to help me stop my negative self-talk patterns and why it's so important. I've talked about in the past how it's important not to openly go around talking about your problems because of the subconscious mind is unable to determine if that's actually happening or real. And the bigger problem, I think, are these conversations that we have with ourselves that no one else hears when we're running ourselves down. And they can lead to a lot of negative things in our life, including depression, health problems, fatigue. We can really do a number on ourselves and not even realize it. So the first tip I have is to imagine yourself saying these things to someone that you care and love about. We're often our worst critics and we say some pretty harsh, horrible things to ourselves. Can you imagine yourself saying these things to someone that you care and love about? When you're able to stop, when you realize that you're actually doing this again, ask yourself, stop, say, would I say this to so-and-so? Chances are you would not. And that can help you stop that pattern in its track. The second is to talk back to that voice, that inner critic, to tell it that it's not true. A lot of the things we make up in our head and focus on are not happening right now at this moment. And right now is the only real time. And, maybe it's a mistake you've made in the past. You can argue with yourself. Give yourself that permission. That's your higher self. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around. So argue back with yourself. When you catch yourself running yourself down, talk back. Talk back to that voice. No, that's not true. Stop that. The third way is to change your wording, maybe to something more neutral or positive. So for example, let's say that you made a mistake and you catch yourself saying, I'm so stupid, I'm so dumb. We've all done that. Well, maybe change your wording to something more neutral, positive. Maybe you're focused on that mistake, you can say, that was silly of me. And a thing I like to add when I change the language is, at the end, this too shall pass. Let's face it. On our worst days, we have 100% success or survival rate. We have survived our worst days and worst situations, or you wouldn't be watching this video, you'd be dead. So keep that in mind. Change the wording to something softer, more neutral. Maybe you're in a bad situation in life, struggling. A lot of people are struggling right now that I talk to and come across. And maybe you say, I hate my life, or I hate this about my life, or I hate this situation. Change it to something more neutral. Maybe say, this is not my favorite, but this too shall pass. By changing the wording and being softer and kinder to yourself, you can really positively make a difference and stop that negative self-talk and the impact that it has on our lives. The next is to give yourself time. Once you realize that you're doing it, you have that awareness, which is the key to any change. Why don't you say, okay, I can do this for 3 more minutes. The funny thing is, when I've done that, it's almost impossible to keep it up for that amount of time. If you give yourself a time limit, you're really throwing your pity party out of whack. So give yourself, maybe you can carry it on, good if you can, great for you, but give yourself a time limit. All right, for the next 3 minutes, I can keep this up, and after that, I got to change it. The next is one of my favorites is to write gratitude. Get a pen and paper. It is scientifically proven that you cannot sustain a negative and a positive thought at the same time. It's when we're focusing on those negatives that they run out of control. When you start focusing on what you do have, writing them down physically, it is amazing the power it can have and the change it can cause instantly. So stop yourself and write down some things that you're positive and grateful for in your life. That will break that pattern up. Another is to force a smile. Make yourself smile. You might be in a really shitty mood. Force yourself to smile and keep your chin up. There's a reason for the saying chin up. I don't know the science behind it, but I've heard, and it's true. Try it. You cannot sustain a negative thought with your head up, elevated. I don't know why. Try it out. So elevate your head, put on a smile, even if you don't feel like it. I promise you that you'll feel better. And the last thing that you can do is to give that inner critic a name. I like to say old Lance, because that's not who I am anymore. And I'm aware of it. And by being aware, you can give it a name, make fun of it. All right, that's old Lance. I don't listen to him anymore. whatever the name is, it helps it helps you make a game of it and take control back. And that's what these are all about, taking back control. So I hope these help, and I hope everybody has an awesome day. When you catch yourself going in those negative thought patterns, try these out. See if some of them help you. I hope everybody has a great Friday, an awesome weekend, and of course, a happy now, because you can't be happy tomorrow and you can't be happy yesterday. Thanks, everybody.